Hey, it is Michael here today with this week's build, the Barbarian. For everyone hungry for a werewolf character, this is it. He's strong, he's crazy and bloodthirsty, and of course he's pledged to become a hunter of Hircine's realm in death. Also, on a side note, if you're a super strict individual who likes to classify build types and probably complained about how a warlock isn't a true warlock, prepare to be almost satisfied, as this barbarian is almost completely conventional, using two-handed and light armor. The race can be played as either a Nord for the aesthetic, battlecry and frost resistance, or an Orc, as the effects of Berserker Rage can be transferred over to beast form, giving your werewolf the ability to take half damage and serve double damage. The skills you're going to need for the Barbarian are two-handed, smithing and light armor. Of course, two-handed will be for your greatsword or battle axe, or warhammer in this case, light armor for your fur and smithing to improve both. The main gear we are using is standard fur armor with a Stormcloak officer helmet, so yes, this character is a Stormcloak. In typical Madman style, the Barbarian will not be using a greatsword, but rather the warhammer I mentioned, but it's forged from Dragonbone. Whilst it may look silly on some characters, the Dragonbone warhammer fits the Barbarian as it gives an almost caveman atmosphere, sort of like the R-rated violent version of Fred Flintstone. Whilst an absolute powerhouse in human form, the Barbarian is mainly focused around harnessing his werewolf abilities, and is also a proud member of the Companions. This means after completing the Companions, you should complete Ayla's additional quests to obtain werewolf totems which will grant you extra werewolf abilities. In terms of werewolf rings, there's a wide variety on offer, and if you have the Dragonborn DLC, that's the case, otherwise you're stuck with Hircine's ring. Completing Hircine's quest will fit in well with the role playing, and of course gaining the ring will allow you to have unlimited transformations each day. If a daily but more powerful transformation is more your thing, you're going to want to seek out the Werewolves of Solstheim, who will sell a vast array of werewolf based rings to your character. To become the strongest werewolf possible, you'll also need to unlock all of the werewolf perks, and we find the best way to do this is to first aim for the perk which allows you to feed on anything, any creature, as then you can obtain all the other perks faster. Speaking of perks, the one you will need for the human form of the Barbarian, they'll all be in the link in the description as always. In terms of a stat distribution, it's very simple. You're going to be allocating all your stats into health, as your armor is relatively weak, and we've neglected stamina for 3 reasons. Firstly, as a werewolf you get a boost to stamina and an insane amount of stamina regen. Secondly, in human form, your weapon should be of such high damage you won't need to power attack too often. However, of course the base 100 stamina points will allow for a few. Finally, whilst you could argue it takes a lot of energy to swing the huge hammer, it also makes sense that you wouldn't be able to swing it endlessly, so having endless amounts of stamina and power attacks becomes a bit over the top. So the backstory sort of thing that we've got going on for this character is that he was thrown into the Falkreath wilderness of Skyrim as an unwanted child, and through the guidance of Hircine was raised by a pack of wolves. They treated him as their own, bringing him food until he was old enough to hunt for himself. Of course, brought up by animals, he has basic language skills and, just enough to get around and talk to people in the main quests. Be sure though to always choose the least fancy sounding response. Hircine's guidance led him to the Companions Guild, in which he could become one of those who raised him with the power to become a werewolf. The best stone for the character is our favourite, the Lord Stone. The Lord Stone of course provides defense against magic, melee and ranged attacks, and it's good for any build and especially a tanky character like this. So that's all folks, I speak on behalf of Scott and I when I say I hope you enjoyed this video. Share, like and subscribe, and we've got plenty more to come. Check out the links in the description, go vote for next week's build. I'm Michael from FudgeMuppet, and I'll see you next time.